you just got to give people time, give people examples that they can use with their leadership teams, and just have them come to the same realization that we kind of push forward on the platform.
I'm Sarah Lundy. I'm with the Viva Engage team at Microsoft, and I'm joined here with Chris and Chris from Nuveen. Do you guys want to introduce yourselves?
Absolutely. My name is Christopher Martin. I run communications operations for Nuveen.
I'm Chris Dickey. I run communications and adoption at Nuveen.
Cool. We're here at the Microsoft 365 Community Conference. What has been your favorite element of the conference so far?
I really think I've just enjoyed seeing how Microsoft is bringing agents into the workflow. I thought that was just very interesting, and it's my favorite.
Yeah, I think my favorite part of the conference itself is just being able to sit down at a table with random people at lunch and be able to talk about communications and have them understand what we're talking about. It's a very safe space for communicators, and we're all working on the same platforms and trying to push them forward in the same way, so it's great to be able to connect with folks over that same kind of shared vision.
So we did a session yesterday with your team about communications and leadership communications in particular in Viva Engage. So I'd love to know how you work with your leaders to get them on board with doing their communications through Viva Engage and making that switch.
Absolutely. I think there's a fair amount of hand-holding, but really is about coming in and being an expert in the tool, walking them through them, and really just showing them how powerful of a tool it is. Just a lot of education, I think, to start off.
Awesome.
Yeah, I think in the early days, it's about connecting the dots between what they've been doing and what they could be doing. And I mean, as a communicator, you push the envelope in ways that are respectful and make sense, but you also follow up with metrics and show them the difference, because leaders love numbers and they love seeing the reactions of things that they're doing. So comments, likes, always put it in an email, send it to them, and they'll be on board pretty quickly, I think.
Awesome. Yeah. Do you have a favorite success story? Comms and Viva Engage?
I won't say who, and I won't say what level of the organization they're at, but in our early days of Viva Engage, just getting people on board with the idea, there was a person who wasn't very on board with it because of the noise, and they weren't a big fan, but now I see them on the platform more than anybody else. So,
that's awesome.
And that's like without our help. It's just like that's their thing now, and that's what they do. They tell other people to do it when they see other people doing something else like email. They're like, why did you do that? You should be on Engage where I am. And this is the same person who was like a little bit standoffish. So you just got to give people time, give people examples that they can use with their leadership teams, and just have them come to the same realization that we kind of push forward on the platform.
Yeah.
And similarly, just not difficult leaders, but leaders who have been just more used to using traditional channels like email. So just sort of getting them to sort of see the benefits of Engage and seeing how far they've come over a short period of time is just very, very interesting and something we're proud of.
That's awesome. Any lessons learned along the way?
Start small, always. I think a lot of the sessions we heard from all over, like I was at Johnson & Johnson's session, and they were like a massive company.
Yeah.
So starting small for them is different than how we started small, but it's the same concept of do a pilot, prove it out, and then scale from there. And all of our comms teams are very small too. Even in massive companies, it's always just like a tight-knit group of folks. So just having those examples, bringing folks along with you, finding champions within organizations who can help do the work for you in their own areas, but also being able to lean on you as the expert who will guide them through the journey is something that we talked about in our session, but something that I've heard all across the conference.
That's
so.
awesome. Here at the conference, everything's been about AI pretty much. So do you have any tips for communicators in using AI, or your favorite feature or whatever?
Yeah, absolutely. I think my favorite or my piece of advice for anyone sort of using AI right now is to really refine those prompts. Don't be scared to sort of drill down a little bit further. And just sort of a funny thing is, use your please and thank yous with your AI tools. We just don't know exactly where it's going quite yet.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I would say what's been the best approach for me for AI is just whenever you get that feeling like, oh, I don't have time to do this, think about how you can automate that task. And I've found new ways of doing things just by like thinking that way and then sharing those insights with my team. Just like little tips and tricks that I've created on my own, just like how could I automate this process? How could I, edit an image? How could I, summarize an article? Just if you find yourself at a moment where it would be great if this was faster. Like think about how can you flip that into Copilot
Yeah.
and just see what it spits out and then refine the prompt from there. So
Yeah.
a lot of the workflows that I do today are just like things that I tried to do before, and it's just like made things quicker.
Yeah.
And it's just part of my day-to-day now.
Yeah, there's a really good point yesterday about, just sort of like pinpointing in your job, like sort of what are pain points and things that are just like sort of drawn out processes. So really focusing on those and seeing, how AI fits into that, and then you get to do the cool stuff that you like all day. So.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's great. So Chris, this is your second time here at the M365 conference, right?
Yes, and I came to Vegas solo last year, and I brought back a lot of notes, a lot of insights, and I used an agent actually when I got home because I was really excited to try out the topic of the conference on my own, and I used those resources to create an executive summary. Met with our COO one-on-one, and I used, she was really impressed about what we got out of it, just me being there by myself, and I was able to use that as a business case for bringing the full team with me this year. So, and in that way, we were able to maximize our reach, our approach. We got a lot more insights just being able to spread ourselves across the conference. We attended some sessions that we might not have attended if we were just here alone. So we're really upping our game this year, just bringing back even more insights than we did last year. So
that's awesome, and sharing them as well.
Yeah.
We're grateful.
Yeah. Yeah. Great. Well, thank you guys for being here.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.